the Elon Musk audio yesterday, CNN is saying he said to advertisers that didn't want to advertise on X to F off. That's not what he said. Listen. Do we have it?
Apology tour, if you will. That this had been said online. There was all of the criticism. There was advertisers leaving. We talked to Bob Iger today.
I hope they stop.
You hope?
Don't advertise.
You don't want them to advertise?
No.
What do you mean?
If somebody's going to try to blackmail me with advertising, blackmail me with money, go yourself.
But
go yourself. Is that clear? I hope it is. Hey, Bob, if you're in the audience.
So what was he saying? He wasn't saying if you don't want to advertise. He's saying if you want me to bend and silence people so you could pose and you won't be boycotted, screw yourself. I'm not playing that game. I don't want your money that badly. This is the way Americans, all Americans, should be. I don't want your blood money. No, thank you. I don't want it. If you want me to sell my soul, because that's what's happening here. You are selling your soul every time somebody tells you to compromise, to just go along to get along. Angel Studios is coming out with a movie on Bonhoeffer, and I can't wait. I saw the trailer yesterday. I can't wait. But Bonhoeffer said, our silence in the face of evil is evil itself. We're, by remaining silent, by not standing up, by compromising, by just letting the bullies win, it's evil what you're doing, and it will cost your soul. So I'm sorry, but if somebody is coming to me and he's driven by what he really truly believes, and I'm not saying Disney isn't, but if you come to me with a threat and say, you better change this or we're going to all boycott you, we're going to destroy you, is there a bigger definition of evil than that? I'm not selling my soul. I wouldn't. He's saying I'm not going to sell my soul for what, $55 billion. It's a pretty high price tag, but I'm not going to sell my soul. My number's a lot smaller than that. It's amazing. Tomorrow, I want to talk to you about it because Stu and I have been talking about he's a genius. He's a genius of geniuses, okay? And we rarely see these people. But there is something to Tesla. He picked Tesla for a reason. And I don't think enough people, they're like, oh, yeah, well, he was, an electric guy. He wanted to electrify things and, Tesla. No, there's a lot more to Tesla's story than that. And I think if you really want to understand him, I could be wrong on this, but I think if you really want to understand him, you have to understand Tesla. You have to understand Edison, Tesla. You have to understand Howard Hughes. You have to understand Orson Welles. You have to understand these people who, when their back was against the wall, went, screw you. I'm going to talk a little bit about that tomorrow.
Yeah, it is the ultimate power, right, to be able to not care about this. And this doesn't just come from his money with Elon Musk. I mean, it partially comes from his money. There's a lot of people.
There is a lot of people. If he cared about money, he would fold.
Yeah. And everybody from his younger years says he never talked about money when he was trying to develop these ideas. It was never the thing that drove
Tesla.
him. I mean, he figured eventually it would come, right, from this. He at one point said, I will either end up incredibly wealthy or have $0.
I think I've been quoted as saying that too.
A lot closer to zero for you than him.
We'll be living the high life, or
Right.
I'll be living under a bridge.
But I think that's essential to understand his mindset.
Yeah.
It's like one of the reasons why I started reading the book about him was because I don't fully understand like some of the stuff that happens with him. At some point I'm like, is he the most amazing businessman in the world, or is he not really a good businessman at all? And
because it's
not even a criticism. It's like he doesn't care about the business side of it in some way.
Right.
It's not exactly true, because obviously he's built these giant companies and he's been very successful.
He's a genius. He doesn't seem to care as much about the business side.
The priority for him is whatever mission he's decided. And he early on in life believed there was three things that he believed were really important. One was space travel. One was the environment. Mm-hmm. I'm trying to think what the third one was. I can't remember.
Wasn't chicks.
No, I don't. No. Again, he seemed to have participated in this book a lot. So I don't know if he would say it was completely fair, but they definitely make him out at times to be pretty rough on some of his mates as throughout life. Like they had some pretty rough relationships with both sides.
Look at the way he was raised.
Yeah, seriously.
Of course.
I mean, I think it's central to who he is.
It is.
So, I mean, look, I don't think he's the easiest person to deal with, and people in his life say that, but like, also, that's part of the way he's been able to achieve what he's been able to achieve.
I knew a guy who was a genius. Absolute genius.
Thanks, man.
No, nothing like you.
Oh.
An absolute genius. The guy could do and think in levels you can't even imagine, okay? He so many times would just be frustrated. I talk to him and he'd be like, oh God, no, Glenn, this. And I said to him at one point, you get tired of people talking to you who just cannot think as fast. I've never seen Elon talk down to people. I mean, he may in his, private life. I've never seen him in public talk down to people. I've never seen him really frustrated. But he's got to be, because he's thinking it at different levels. And all of these press people, how frustrated are people who actually are trying to do something they believe in, and then everyone around them is trying to make it about something that is so much smaller.
Right.
Your fame, your fortune, whatever, politics. You got to just be like, oh, God, would these people shut up?
Yeah.
Open your mind a bit and see a bigger picture. He's got to go through that a lot.
I think he does.
I think
that's definitely true.
Yeah.